of the African Continental Free Trade Area are to be achieved. With President Buhari's signature, 54 out of the 55 member states of the African Union have now signed the agreement, out of which 27 already deposited their instruments of ratification. When fully operational, AFCFTA will be the world's largest free trade area with a potential market of 1.2 billion people and a gross domestic product of $2.5 trillion across member states of the African Union. At the extraordinary session on the African Continental Free Trade Area, speakers including the chairman of the African Union, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, and the Director General of the World Trade Organization appreciated Nigeria for signing the agreement, describing it as a worthwhile undertaking. This, they say, demonstrates the common will of African countries to work together towards achieving the vision of the African Union's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want.
We deserve to congratulate ourselves on these major achievements that has been made possible thanks to the African nations' will and their faith in the vision of the founding fathers.
Africans should take particular pride in reaching this agreement at a time of growing protectionism and rising trade tensions that threaten economic stability and progress around the world.
This is an event that gives hope to the African people who want to construct a prosperous Africa.
Our research and experience has shown that the successful implementation of the CFTA will create synergies and transform Africa into one of the GVC factories like we already have in Asia, Europe, and North America.
The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement came into force in May 2019 and expected to start trading in July 2020, before which some critical preparatory activities are to be undertaken, including effective sensitization of the state parties. From Niamey.
The 8th of July 2019. In Niamey, Niger Republic, Aliou Kabir, NTA.
Now, the Secretary General of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Mohamed Sanusi Barkindo, has condemned in strong terms U.S.-led sanctions against Venezuela and Iran.
He said these sanctions, in addition to mass mobilization against their operations, are the greatest threats to the global oil and gas industry. Correspondent Lydia Sampson reports that these are salient issues at an exclusive with Nigerian journalist in Vienna, Austria.
Having served as acting Secretary General of OPEC and represented Nigeria on OPEC's Board of Governors from 2009 to 2010, Barkindo brings with him a wealth of experience in the oil and gas industry, both in Nigeria and internationally. As he gears up for the next 3 years in office, Mohamed Sanusi Barkindo bears his mind, stressing a diplomatic solution towards ending the sanctions, which have caused uncertainty in the oil market.
For us, we would welcome a resolution of the issues that are at stake between these countries and the United States. Sanctions distort markets, and it further complicates our global effort with non-OPEC producers to maintain stability.
He said OPEC is not unmindful of volatility in the oil market, as well as mounting concerns about threats to both global supplies and demand. Barkindo said OPEC and oil-producing non-OPEC members grouped into OPEC Plus agreed to extend production caps until 2020.
This charter provides us with a permanent platform of working together, and I look forward to Nigeria and all the participating countries ratifying the charter. It is not a treaty. It is not a legally binding institution per se. It is a voluntary platform that brings together producers across the board, both at policy level and at technical levels, to continue to address the challenges of the oil market, the industry, and the energy landscape.
Venezuela, Libya, and Iran are, however, exempt from these restrictions. From Vienna, Austria, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And the outgoing Group Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baro, says President Muhammadu Buhari remains committed to the growth of the nation's hydrocarbon reserves through the exploration of the inland oil basins in the country. A statement by Group General Manager, Public Affairs of the NNPC, Ndu Gamadu, indicated that Dr. Baro made the assertion while inspecting ongoing drilling operations in Bauchi and Gombe State in company of his successor, Malam Mele Kiare. The GMB expressed conviction that under the leadership of the incoming GMD, the NNPC will soon discover new hydrocarbon reserves to shore up Nigerians' economic base.
Nigeria is among West African countries to benefit from the Training and Examination Center for Renewable Energy and Efficiency for ECOWAS certification scheme. This is to promote professional competence and address quality assurance gap. The executive director of ECOWAS Renewable Energy says by the end of July, the training certification examination will hold in Lagos. Nigeria is set to work ongoing for the production of more than 200 megawatts of solar installations.
You're watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. Still to come. Yobe State Governor vows to revive government-owned moribund industry. Stay with us for more news.
Advertising your goods and services on the right channel gives you an edge over your competitors. NTA News 24 has all the platforms for your target audience. The station is on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46, StarTimes channel 101, and Free TV channel 703. With our digital format and wide range, we can reach your customers in next to no time. We are eager to promote your business, goods, and services. So, partner with us for a very rewarding business experience. For more information, please call Henry on 0803-379-0884 or visit our office at NTA Headquarters, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. NTA News 24. News and more news.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Now, the presidential election petition. So far, the petitioner have tendered document concerning 10 states. The states are Niger, Yobe, Katsina, Kebbi, Borno, Jigawa, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Kano. The document tendered are forms EC8C and EC8B and EC8A, as well as the receipt for the certification of the document. Counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission, Ustaz Usman, SAN, President Muhammadu Buhari, EC London, reserved reasons for their objection for their written final addresses. National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, and Tom Ikimi of the PDP are in court.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandidi, has vowed not to spare individuals or group involved in passport-related offences. The warning came in the wake of the prosecution of a senior protocol officer in the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, Mekudi Aruna, who allegedly was involved in the forgery of documents meant for the procurement of Nigerian passport. A statement signed by the Nigerian Immigration Service Public Relations Officer DCI Sunday James says Mekudi conspired by forging official identity card and signature of the Minister of the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing on a letter issued to one Abubakar Mustafa Bida to procure official passport, thereby collecting 250,000 naira. Has proceeded knowing full well that the subject is not a government official. Aruna Mikudi appeared before Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court, Abuja, where he was charged with conspiracy in making false statement for the purpose of procuring Nigerian passports and engaging in forgery. The Controller General of Nigerian Immigration Service advised prospective applicants seeking the Nigerian passport to avoid false declaration, forgery, and use of fake breeder's document. He therefore advised applicants to follow due process by paying online, applying online, and this is from patronizing touts. He notes that both the procurer and the applicant will be prosecuted in accordance with the provision of the law related to
others.
Boboye Oyeyemi on arrival at the FRSC Academy Udi, Enugu State, venue of the regimental dinner, which sets the tune for the evening event. The cadets, about 753 number, drawn from the 36 states of the Federation, were on hand to wine and dine with the officers and men of rank and file. Corps Marshal Oyeyemi says the ceremony is an integral part of military and paramilitary tradition observed as part of every structured training program for officers.
It's been a wonderful experience within the last 4 years with Mr. President's support by prompt release of funds, and at least you yourself can see a lot of things, and projects are waiting commissioning, and this signals the further improvement in developing the capacity.
Completion of the 6-month course. What the Commission tagged unveiling of colors, among other significant features, added color to the regimental dinner as the Corps Marshal conducted the band.
We'll now join our live OBcast for a live telecast.
Not now. They have two. At this point, they have two. They have missed one.
May the gentle soul of late Francis Olabode Johnson rest perfectly in peace. And please, you may be seated for yet another performance by the NNPC GMD Quality Choir. Please, presentation quickly. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the live broadcast of the valedictory session for Dr. Mekantiba Kachalabaru, the outgoing GMD of NNPC. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming to you live on the network service of NTA, the biggest network service in Africa. The amphitheater is filled to capacity and it's overwhelming because for many, this is believed to be an outstanding send forth for a leader who has distinguished himself, and for many, even though past leaders like Pupeluku have been sent forth in similar capacities, but it's not been this overwhelming. As we all know, it is the valedictory session for the outgoing GMD, Dr. Mekantibaru, as well as the handing over for the incoming GMD, Mele Kolo Kiari. And who is who in the oil and gas industry, and even friends of the industry are here in the amphitheater.